welcome back to another video. Now I know I got the same thing I had on in my last video, but these videos are related, okay? So the last video I showed you guys how I customize this hair lace frontal. This video I'm going to be showing you guys how I made, oh yes honey, I made this wig, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a full bomb ass wig without having to cut inty, honey. I mean inty of your webs, okay? Because ain't nobody got time for that. Because what if I wanted to take it down and redo it or something, color it or whatever? I can do that. If I wanted to take it out and get an installation, I could do that. Because none, I mean absolutely none, not even the ones at the top, has been cut, okay? And if you guys are interested, please keep on watching. Okay guys, I'm using the extra large breathable dome cap, and I'm just going to place this on the mannequin head. Now I'm just placing the lace frontal on the dome cap. I did show you guys how to customize this in my last video, so if you haven't seen that, please exit this video and go watch that. Now I'm just going to use my T-pins, and I'm going to pin the lace frontal in place. Okay guys, so now I'm going to take the time to explain to you what I did exactly. So as you guys can see, the frontal is placed a little bit past the dome cap, and then I placed this going straight across the dome cap in the back. And you want to make sure that you guys have tabs left over, because you do not want your lace frontal to be too small. And then you're going to take the rest of your hair, and then you're going to pin it out of place, and then you're going to sew it straight across. So I'm just going to continue sewing it straight down, and after every stitch I do a small little knot just to make sure that it is properly secured. And when sewing your lace frontal, you want to make sure that your stitches that you're making are not super far apart. And what you guys see me doing now is I'm going through the band. So once you get to the point where you're sewing on the band, you want to make sure that you sew through the band. As you guys can see, I just sewed it straight across, and I didn't want them super far apart. And you guys want to make sure you sew on the band, because if not, you will have extra fabric left over. So what you see me doing now is I'm going ahead and I place my track in place. And then when you're sewing on the band, you want to make sure that you're not going through the band when doing the back tracks, because when you go through the band on the back, it loses its ability to be able to stretch, and you guys don't want that. You want it to be able to fit your head or anyone's head that you're making the wig for. So with that being said, you just want to make sure that you're only going through the fabric. Just showing you how I make little small knots after every stitch. I'm just going to go through and just pull it through, and this is how I make small knots. And I try to do this after every stitch so the track is secure. So at this point, I'm just going to make a knot, because I feel like I'm about to flip the track. And you guys will know when it's time to flip your tracks. But I'm about to show you guys how I flip my tracks. I normally only flip one track. As you guys can see, there's two, and I'm flipping just the one that's in the back, because I want the flip to be super flat. And to me, when flipping both tracks, it's not as flat as it could be. So I'm just going to flip one of the tracks and make a knot, and then I'm going to stitch really close together, and I'm still making small knots. I'm still stitching really close together so that it can be as flat as possible. You're done doing that, you want to make another small knot, as you guys can see. And then I'm going back to both of the tracks. As you guys can see, I stopped there and I'm just going to put them back on top of each other, and I'm just going to stitch really close together. With this way, the tracks look super seamless and super flat, but you only really just flipped one of them. As you guys can see, it is super duper flat, and this is kind of what you're looking for. And with this way, I do not have to cut any of my tracks. If you guys watched my last video, you know that I am using a 13x6 frontal, which means that it is a very big frontal. So I do not have that much room to sew 3 bundles onto. So in order for all of the hair to fit, I would have to make sure that my tracks are really close together. And you guys will see it later how close they are. You guys really just want to continue with this method until you finish with this bundle, and I will show you guys what to do once you finish the bundle. Okay guys, so as you guys can see, this is what it looks like once I finish with my first bundle. It is super flat and they're super close together. Now I'm working with the 20-inch bundle, and as you guys can see, this is what it looks like straight out the pack. And with this bundle, you're going to really continue the same thing. You want to make sure that your tracks are doubled. Like I said, we don't have that much room, so you want to make sure all of your tracks is doubled and you do them super close together. So once I pinned it in place, I'm going to begin stitching, and I'm going to start stitching the tracks on to the frontal, just on the band. You do not want to sew through the lace because you will rip the lace, so only sew on the band. So as you guys can see, I'm about to flip it, and I'm only flipping one of the tracks, and I'm going to stitch them really close together, and I'm going to make my knot, but I'm going to still connect the track to the lace frontal, like I said, because if you don't connect them, you will have a gap in your wig, and you do not want that. That is very ugly. Once you do that, you know you want to start stitching in the opposite direction, but at this point you want to make sure that both of your tracks are doubled, which means they're on top of each other and you're sewing them down together. So at this point, I'm still only flipping one of the tracks, but I'm going to start curving them, because if you keep them straight, it is not going to cover up the line between your tracks and your frontal. So you want to start curving them so that you won't see the band when your hair lays down or it lays flat, anything like that. So you really want to start curving them, and you're still going to stitch it the same way, but you're going to close that between your bundles and your frontal. And as you guys can see, the bundles are still double, and you're just going to continue this until you finish the bundle. So guys, at this point I have finished the 22 in the 20-inch bundle, and as you guys can see, the stitches are really close together, the flips are really flat, and the tracks are really super close together, as you guys can see. And this is kind of what you're looking for when you're making a wig. Okay guys, as you can see, we're on the last bundle, the 18-inch, and you really want to repeat the same thing you did with your last bundle. You want to make sure that your stitches are really close together, and that you're still curving your tracks, and that your bundles are still double. Hey guys, at this point I am almost done, and this is all I am left with. So I'm still only going to flip them the same way by only folding one of the tracks, and I'm going to stitch this really close together, making sure that it is super flat. And once you guys have done that and you knotted it in place and it's secure, you're going to close up the gap between the last track that you sewed down and your frontal, which means that you're going to kind of stitch the last track still onto the dome cap, but also connecting it to your lace frontal by only sewing through the band. Remember guys, you do not want to sew through the lace because you will rip your frontal. You still want to make sure that the little bit of weft or track that you have left, you're still doubling. Okay guys, so at this point, this is what it looks like once you're done. As you guys can see, there's no gap between the tracks and the frontal. And now I'm just going to remove the frontal from the dome cap, and I'm going to cut off the extra fabric that's left underneath the frontal. And you guys want to get as close as possible to thread without actually cutting the thread, because if you do so, you will pretty much have to start all over. Okay guys, so at this point the wig is completely finished, and this is what it's looking like. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope this video was super helpful, and I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.